Most descriptions on the scrotal circumference will talk about actually measuring behind the bull. A lot of times, especially in a field situation, that's not always the safest place to do. So if you've got a good kick bar, you've got everything else, then you're probably in pretty good shape. But the whole thing to measuring scrotal circumference is try to stay uniform in your procedure. So generally what I do is I tend to want to measure these from the left side, okay? So again, I'm going to go in, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to palpate the testicles. And again, I want to palpate to make sure that they're not excessively firm or excessively soft. Like this? Okay, so I want to palpate the testicle. I want to go up and palpate the pampiniform plexus, very important for heat regulation and stuff. That's basically blood vessels that actually help keep the testicles cooler than the rest of the body. So I want to palpate, or I just want to feel for the tone of these testicles, both testicles. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want those testicles not excessively, but I want them down into the scrotum good. Then I take my tape and I try to measure consistently with each.
Once you get it on there, take that arm away.
Okay, so what I want to do is I'm having to use this hand to force the testicle down. Okay, so then I put the scrotal tape around the largest part of the testicle. Make sure I'm not pulling it too tight, but neither too loose. So again, I'm going to have to move my hand a little bit to show you what I'm doing. But it's very important that that testicle is down, forced down into that scrotum, the same with every bull. Okay? Got it?
Yes.
Okay, so Dr. Carpenter, can you kind of tell us about this bull? And
so Dr. Hairgrove's measured this bull, and he's certainly got acceptable scrotal circumference for a young bull. He's 34 centimeters. The thing I kind of point out, I was just looking at him out in the pasture a minute ago. It was a little bit cool out there this morning. He had his testicles pulled up close to his body, and they look kind of small out there, honestly. And I'm kind of surprised he's as good as he is. We got him in here, and he forced those testicles down the way you're supposed to do it, and got them down where he could measure them, and he's certainly acceptable. So it's okay to look at them out in the pasture, but you really need to get them in and measure them correctly.
And on a cold morning, testing bulls, on a cold morning, again, you're going to have a little bit different factor because those testicles are not going to come down as good. Dr. Carpenter, could you explain it? And I know I kind of threw a curveball with the pampiniform plexus. Why is that important that that's palpated?
Well, they can get injured like anything else. They can get, I guess, tissue, scar tissue. It is it's a series of blood vessels. It's a series of blood vessels. Well, the part the pampiniform plexus that he was palpating is the stem of those blood system that goes down and surrounds the testis, and it takes heat in both directions, kind of like a radiator on your car, and that's what helps cool the testis. Is that blood flow from the pampiniform plexus. Okay. And that's why he was palpating that.
And so some bulls, just like other animals and humans, can get varicocele, or they can get issues with those vessels in there, so the testicles aren't, basically they tend to stay hotter because, like Dr. Carpenter said, that's kind of the way the temperature is regulated, right? So that's, again, very, very important that that's palpated, and as you're going through the process, make sure that you don't, it'll feel like little BBs and stuff up in there. In other words, firm vessels. This bull felt normal. But again, that's very important in the palpation of that bull.